Well, today we're doing a French drain, and the reason we're doing it is that you see over here to the right, this land slopes in and comes in, and it comes right down towards the house, keeps down right towards the foundation, and that's the last thing you want, is it coming towards the foundation. So what we're doing here is we're using a shovel, an axe if there's rocks, and I use a post hole digger. And we dig the hole down here, and the hole should be at least probably a good 14-15 inches deep, and it should be about maybe 12 inches wide, but there are going to be certain areas that you're not going to be able to get it like that, and you should run it all the entire distance of the length of the house. Now, I don't think it's ever going to fill up, not down here by the Mississippi River or the Chattahoochee here in Atlanta, where this is, so I don't think we have too much to worry about. Well, now you see a bucket sitting there, and what that bucket is used for is I want to determine how well that water's flowing, so that if it was raining like a real hard rain, 2 or 3 day rain or whatever, got to make sure it's continuing to flow totally down all the way the distance of about 40 feet, which is about the amount of distance it is. Well, now you're seeing our water's flowed, and it really hasn't quite flowed right even from the beginning. We've got a puddle right here. We need to take care of that. Probably the best way to take care of that is to add some gravel in. But before I put the gravel in, I'll put that cloth and then put the gravel on top of it, layer it out real nicely so it flows down the hill there. And as you can see, it did flow quite well down the hill. And we go all the way down there, and then whoops, there's the muddy water. So we got a blockage up there. We're going to go take a look and see what that blockage is. Well, we're right over what I would call our little Grand Canyon here in Atlanta. I had to literally knock a complete wall of rock. You can see that rock along there. And you can see, comes down there, comes all the way down there, comes down there, and oops, we're coming right upon it, a wall. Now I'm going to have to take that wall out, and I'm going to have to do it probably all the way to the end to make sure that it's all even and has a continual down slope. They say it should be about 1 degree for every 100 feet. So let's see what happens. But would you believe I got beginner's luck? Honestly, I've never built one of these things before. I kind of followed some information that was on the internet and the thing that my friend printed out for me that I'm doing this French drain for. But you see, when I put that gravel in, it stopped that puddling, and now I've got a perfect slope, and that water just flowed right on straight down. You see how I've got that cloth? I've got it laying up against the side. Now that's the side that's closest to the house that you see the cloth laying there. Now that cloth that's over here, that's closest to the street, that I'll be folding over the gravel when I make my gravel tunnel. And that's what I'm going to be doing next. You'll see the gravel in the tunnel. Well, we've got beginner's luck. You see the wet gravel there? Then as you see a little bit further, it's not wet. But what you do see is wet down that way, and that's where we want it. It's going right on down into the little canyon. Well, again, beginner's luck. As you can see, I put a piece of cloth in again, another piece of cloth. I'll be making another tunnel. And what I wanted to make sure is that you see the water right here is gone through here. I poured another thing of water, and it ran right straight down the tunnel and right into that mud. Well, we finally have gotten all 45 feet of this French drain done. And I'm walking along it now just to show you how it goes all the way around like this, to show you that you need to, if you're doing it, as we said, for this situation where the water's draining from the right down into this area now, where it was draining into the house foundation, you need to be very careful. You also need to be very careful about, you see these flags here? Well, they got that mixed up. That cable situation was, according to them, over in this area. Well, as it turned out to be, it was here, and I cut it. So you need to be very careful and protect your cables. And the other thing is if you find out where you get to a point where seems to be where you can't get the water to drain down, put some sand and some rocks underneath it, and that'll raise it up, and that should give it enough. And then with the compression of new rocks, that should give you the exact angle you need to finish it off. And that is a French drain.